Yo, what is up, guys? I'm back with another video. Today's video is actually similar with one of my other videos, addressing the situation. I think, yeah, it's a lot more similar, but this one's takes a this one takes a big turn, all right? So I'll just get with the story. So basically, there's this guy, his name is Dylan. We added him to the group like a month ago, and I think he stayed for like 1 to 2 weeks in the group. So I'll get to that later. So at first he was nice, he was good, and he just talked about his past trauma, that I'll talk about later in the video. So basically he said that, well, I'm not gonna say what he said right now. I'm just gonna start saying like from the low to the top. So like in the group, I think like a week passed maybe, and he just started talking like stuff about like his mother dying, and like at first I believed it until he said he had a stepmother and a stepfather that died. But the problem is he does not really have step parents. I'll get to that later. So long story short, he said his mother died in a car crash when she was driving and he was in the passenger seat, and he said that they got hit by a car at like 200 miles per hour, which seems crazy for him to stay in like one piece. Because like, if someone's in a passenger seat, especially a kid, and then they just get hit by a car that's like going 200 miles per hour, like he's obviously gonna be paralyzed or something. Maybe a little worse. So the next day, maybe in like I think a couple of days, he says that his mom died because like her his stepfather, or like yeah, he did say his stepfather was driving and his mom was in the passenger seat, and then she died by getting hit by a car at like 200 miles per hour. And then he brings up another story. His mom got hit by a car when like she was walking with cookies and suddenly just gets hit by a car at like 200 miles per hour. So like, I honestly don't really understand him, because like he came up with the same story 3 times in 3 different situations, right? So me and my friends, we caught him, but we decided to keep him in for a little longer, to see what he'll say next, right? So fast forward to the face reveals. Fast forward to the face reveals, right? He did a face reveal. I'm not gonna show his face on YouTube. I'm not gonna show his face on YouTube right now, because like that'll just be like a little weird. So yeah, my friend, they were in call, right? And my friend was like, okay, I'm gonna show you my face in private. So yeah, she said that to Dylan, and he was like, all right, sure. So she sent him a picture of her face, and she said like as soon as she sent it, she started feeling uncomfortable, and then she deleted it. By the way, this guy was like online, like on his phone, for like before she sent the pic, and when she deleted it, he was like, "Why did you delete the picture? I didn't even see anything," and stuff like that, right? So like, she was like, "I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable showing my face. Maybe later or something." And then he was like, "Come on, just show me your face. Just show me your face. Just show it." Stuff like that. And she was like repeating like over and over, "I'm uncomfortable." I mean, she was repeating that she was uncomfortable, and then he didn't stop. Like he just kept going on like, show me your face, stuff like that. And then okay, and then I stepped in and I just told him, yo, she just said she feels uncomfortable. Can you just like leave her a little alone? And then he just said, I'm too controlling, and then he just like leaves the call. So fast forward to his mother's death apparently. Um, we confronted him about it, and then he made up a new lie. He said that the day before, his mother died, she was in the car driving, and then the next day she was in the car with her, with his stepdad, and then the next day when she was walking, apparently she dies. This actually, this didn't get us confused. This is actually gave us an opportunity to confront him more about the lie that he made up. Right? So he said when he said his mother got hit by a car at 200 miles per hour, keep in mind that's 321 kilometers per hour. Keep in mind, if someone gets hit, they're automatically pieces. Okay? So he basically said he was gonna go and hug her. He didn't say he was gonna hug her. He said he hugged her. He hugged her, body. And they said they took her to the hospital, right? His apparent stepdad took him and his allegedly to the hospital. I'll say this again. If someone gets hit by a car, like not even in a car, like let's say someone gets hit by a car at 200 miles per hour while they're walking, that's just immediate death. Like it's just basically ashes at this point, right? Apparently, he says this kid, that he said that this kid, ruined his life by a joke. Well, I mean, I believed him at first, but now I kind of feel bad because, like, I told the kid, like, why you do that, stuff like that, because, like, I believed Dylan at first. But there's this one thing. He said, so Dylan, I'll say his age, he's 16 years old, okay? 16 years old, but I just think he's faking his age. Why? He does not sound 16. And if he is 16, he said something really, really bad to the kid. I'll keep in mind that kid is 8 years old. I don't know how he has Discord, but that kid is 8 years old. All right. He said something that involves like, how to say this. No, I'm not gonna say this. This is just like probably gonna like how to say this. I might get demonetized. Not what? Why did I even say demonetized? Anyways, yeah, this could take my video down and give me a strike on my channel. So like, I'm not gonna say that. Fast forward, we kick him out the group, and then I did not have him added on TikTok, but he found my alts and my main, right? So he didn't really text me on my main, but he said something to me on my alt. Keep in mind what I said at first, before I even like started the recording, I said, I'm gonna show you the messages. Well, I mean, here's the messages as you can see. Yep, that was him, texting me. Just, alright, I'm just gonna show her now. Alright, just look at this. Let's keep in mind. Let's keep in mind. This guy has a TikTok account, right? He posted a video of his face, and like, as you can see from the message, he said like, the N-word, which he's not supposed to say. And he said it multiple times in call. And I was like, yeah, but you can't say that, right? And he was like, I'm sorry, that's my ADHD, and like, my family curses a lot. I was like, all right, just don't say that ever again. And it was like, all right. Well, he kept on saying it and saying, oh no, it's an accident, stuff like that, all that bullshit. So yeah, I mean, I think he was either being racist or like, nah, he was being racist. He was saying the N-word and stuff like that. And like, frick, I kind of forgot about this a little. I'll just try to remember it for a sec. He apparently said he has memory loss, right? From the car accident that he was allegedly in. Um, let's say if someone had memory loss, like they would forget their mother's death until they're reminded of it. Right. So he said he had ADHD and like, you know, freaking memory loss. So yeah, that's what he said. And then like, he said I that's the only thing that I remember and stuff like that. While he acts like he never remembers that I, told him to not say the N-word and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the end of the story. I'm just gonna try to remember more of the story while I just play this round. So like, you know. So yeah, I mean, I think that's the end of the story of this kid, Dylan. Of him, lying about deaths, lying about fake, memory losses, lying about his life getting ruined, lying about, or not, I think that's all of that. And then just starts doing harassments, being racist. So yeah, I mean, that's the story basically. And yeah, just like this, sometimes he could be very toxic and then just blames it on his ADHD and starts fake crying, you know, to make you feel bad, and then come to, oh, it's okay, join back and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I had to say. And besides that, he said that he had step parents that died in prison, yet he still said his stepfather took him to the hospital. And I remembered like a little more, I guess, like I remembered a little more info about this Dylan kid, and I got actually a little bit of info. So he said he had a boyfriend. He said he had a boyfriend that lived like, I think, like across like the freaking country, like the continent maybe. And he said that boyfriend like abused him and like hit him and stuff like that while his father was at work. But at the same time, when I told y'all about the first like the lie he made about his mother's death, he said he got that scar from the car crash. Look, I don't think a 16-year-old would lie about a family member's death. I don't think a 16-year-old would do that.
I don't think he's 16. And also, if he was 16 and Harry's like 12, that.
Nah, Harry's like 10.
Yeah.
Harry was, bruh, Harry was 14 for like 2 years. And now he's not friends with Harry.
Didn't he used to date him?
He used to date him, but like, now they're not friends.
Like, after they broke up?
Not after, like, I think after a couple of months, but yeah. I mean, I seriously don't understand, why does he want attention? Like, he could have thought, that could like lead into bad stuff. And look what happened, dude. Look what happened to him. That's just bad, dude.
He freaking deserves it, bro. Why would you?
Yeah, I know. Why the hell would you do? Why the hell would you lie about your freaking parents' death? Like, that is not cool.
400 messages, 400 new messages from WhatsApp.
Damn.
What were you saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not cool. Like that's just like disrespectful. Mate, like lying about your parents' death.